I guess regarding judgment of others. So let's say if something that you do want to manifest or bring into your life or like your career, whatever, somewhat depends, maybe not all of it, but to a certain degree depends on the judgment of others. How do you detach yourself from that judgment?
Yeah, so judgment of others is a big thing for a lot of people. Here's the thing about being judged by others, and this is what I've shared with a lot of clients in the past. I think I've talked about this in some of the collective calls. So somebody that judges, they're just a judger. So somebody that's typically a judger is constantly judging everybody about everything. So it doesn't matter who you are or what you do, what you achieve, what you don't achieve, they're going to judge regardless,
Hmm.
right? So if it's, oh, I'm afraid of having $1 million because people might judge me, right? So those people that would judge you for having $1 million, they would probably also judge you for not having $1 million. So in their mind, they're just judging everybody regardless of where those people are at or what they're doing. Does that make sense?
It does, but what if, like, if what you need, say, for example, like, say this video, say that what we're doing right now, in order for it to be successful, you need 50,000 people to like it,
Okay.
right? In order to move to the next level or
Sure.
whichever.
So being
So
attached to outcome.
yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you not be attached to that kind of outcome when you need these people, like, say, to like it in order for it to move forward?
So for me, I don't do anything, or I try not to do anything. I know it's a practice,
Mhm.
but everything I do it from the energy of doing it for the pleasure activity, not for the outcome. So when we are attached to that outcome, often we're creating resistance, right? Because it's a need. Oh, I need to hit 50,000 views, right? For me, I do everything from the energy of I just do it because it feels fun and exciting, and I can take pleasure in that activity. And from that energy, then you're doing it from the place where you're connected to your inner being and you're in alignment. So the example I used in the collective a few times was writing a book. So last year I gave a talk to a mastermind of people who are
Mhm.
writing books, and they all had writer's block. And the reason they all had writer's block is they had all this pressure on their shoulders of it's got to be done by this certain deadline. It's got to be this many pages. It's going to change the world. It's going to sell 10,000 copies. So they weren't writing for the joy of the process. They were writing with this attachment of what the outcome needed to look like. And that's why they all had writer's block. For me, when I wrote, this book, Power of Joy, that's my last one, Power Manifesting, I literally wrote that from the energy of like, I was just writing it for me, right? I was just writing it because I love taking what I have going on in here and just putting it on paper and telling the stories of manifestation and how it all works. So for me, I was writing for the pleasure of the experience of the writing. And that's why it flowed so easily and so quickly. Like literally the first manuscript took about 3 weeks worth of work, right? So anything you do, you want to do it from that energy of doing it for the sheer enjoyment of the process rather than what that end outcome needs to look like. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Because doing it from that energy of pleasure is you're doing it from so much more of a powerful place connected to your inner being. And it doesn't matter if it's writing a book, cooking, applying for a job, whatever it is, if you're
Mhm.
doing it from that energy, the benefits just, it becomes an effortless process.
Mhm. So the job itself becomes, I guess, like comes well, effortless because you love what you're doing, and I guess the following that you may get from it is because of your feeling of how you were at that time. Would that kind of make sense?
So I guess the following is a reflection of my vibration, right? So for me, my intent isn't 50,000 followers. My intent is to have fun doing it. And if there's other people who can benefit from it, great. And if their inner beings see them as a good match to watch my videos and they can line them up with those people, that's great too.
Okay. Okay. And I guess if like, and maybe if like you're saying, if your vibration is just high and you're aligned and you're loving what you're doing, it will probably, like I would say, it would just transcend
Yeah, I
into
mean,
what it is you're doing as well.
if you're literally experiencing life in that place of pleasure, does manifestation even matter anymore?
No, when that's right.
Right. And it's from that place of pleasure where you're actually letting in the manifestations, because in that place of pleasure, you're in that non-resistant state.
Ah, I think there we go. I think that was the key one.
And
That.
that's why in the collective we're so focused on the new paradigm rather than manifestation, because the old the old point of view, the old way to look at, law of attraction, is from the angle of chasing after this, that, or the other thing. And the better approach, and that's what I talk about in Power Manifesting and in the collective, the better approach is not to study law of attraction from the context of manifestation, but studying law of attraction in the context of stepping into the new paradigm, where pleasure is the focus, where the mechanism of synchronicity is the focus, where allowing reality to be exactly what it is without pushing against is the focus, learning unconditional love as being the focus. And from that place, all of those manifestations then begin to trickle in.